What's up guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video we're back with a Python program, and in today's video we have a special Python program to solve. But before we look at the task, first of all I have to tell you something. You can see this image. This is a right angle triangle, right? So this is a 90-degree angle over here, which indicates that this triangle is a right angle triangle. So in a right angle triangle we all know that there is a base, and which is a perpendicular line. This is the perpendicular, and the line which is opposite to the 90-degree is called the hypotenuse. So in order to calculate the length of this side, like hypotenuse, we have this formula which is also known as a Pythagorean theorem, right? So as we all know, like Pythagorean theorem is used to find out the length of side of a right angle triangle. So we have it here is a hypotenuse, we have here is a perpendicular square, and plus base square. Now if I modify this problem, what I'm going to do is that if I take the square root on both sides, if I take the square roots on both sides, then this square will cross out that square root, and then the remaining square root will be applied to this part, a square plus b square, and it will be under the big square root. So this is how we will gonna calculate the value of hypotenuse. Now the problem that we're gonna solve today is similar to this formula, and let's see. So we have a task like write a function that's named Python. The function name is Python, which is right from the Pythagorean theorem. Given the lengths of two sides of a right angle triangle, like we will gonna provide the two length of the two sides of the right triangle, and based on that we're gonna calculate the hypotenuse. And how we're gonna calculate the hypotenuse will be same with using the formula which I have told you earlier. So let's get started. So the first thing I have to do is to define a function named Python. Now this is the function named Python, and what I'm going to do here is I have to take the input from the user, right? So I just say A and B like this. I'm just assuming this picture in this formula, and based on this formula I'm going to implement the program. So I'm just taking the input of the two sides, right? And we have to calculate the the length of the third side. So what I'm going to do here is that this is going to be A. So A square plus B square. What I'm going to do here is state A square plus B square like this. And as I told you before, if I implement a square root over here, then a square root will be above the A square plus B square. So how I'm going to implement this? I just put this thing in a bracket, and what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to put a power of 0.5, because a square root is equivalent to 1 upon 2, and 1 upon 2 is equivalent to 0.5. So this is how we're going to calculate the length of the third side. And what I'm going to do in the last, I'm going to return the value of C right there. So this is a basic function that we have to calculate. And now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to ask the user to enter the sides of a triangle. This, right? So we have taken the two sides, and in the end what I'm going to do here, I'm going to call that Python function. And in that Python function, I'm going to just call this v1 and v2. So this Python function is getting these two parameters, and the returning value will be printed in on the screen. So run this. So if I write the length of side 1, which is 12, length of side 2, which is 9, and that it will gonna say this is a 15.0 is the length of the side 3, like this. So this is the basic Python program that we have to calculate the length of the third side of a right triangle I hope you understand it. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel.